Hi, this is Logan Birdsong demoing my final project. My final project is a program that performs simple movie ticket buying functions as if a user were to be doing so online. I will demonstrate this for you by firing up the server and the subsequent clients. Now you will see that the client will provide the user with a simple menu that will give them a variety of options. The first of which being that they can display the current selection of movies at the theater. Now we currently can see this and they are associated with a number. This number is what they will then use to make their selection here in the displaying of movie info. Once they have gotten into that function, they simply enter a movie number as associated from the first function. Say this user wants to know information about Coraline, and they will enter that and will be displayed the information from the server. Say this user wants to then know about 50 Shades of Grey, and this user wants to know about James and the Giant Peach. They're displayed their respective movie information with times, theaters, and seats available. They then are able to make the option to purchase seats, simply needing their respective movie number, the time that they wish to go to. Say this user wants to go at 6 o'clock. They want to go to theater 11, and they are simply going to purchase 6 seats. From there, they have successfully purchased 6 seats. This user wants to purchase seats from movie 2, which was 50 Shades of Grey. They wish to go at the 8 o'clock. They want to go to theater 4, and they wish to purchase 8 seats. And this user simply is going to do the same thing, but for their respective seating. I'm going to go to the 11:30 at theater 2, and they're going to purchase simply 1 ticket. And they are able to terminate their connections. Now, this is simply updating a text file that is formatted in this way. It has a number that is the movie number that they give, a time, a theater, and the number of seats. The client is not able to make a selection of which seat they purchase. They are simply given the next available seat, similar to if you were to go in person and purchase tickets. It will simply decrement this seat value depending on the amount of seats purchased by the user. As you can see, we have 1 less seat in movie 1 at time 11:30, theater 2. That was this request. And you can see that we also are missing seats at movie 6 at time 6, theater 11. That was this user's request. Now, the simple client server implementation is that, oh my. So the simple client server implementation is concurrent C coding, various C coding requirements to open up a client server connection. simply printing out the menu, sending user input to the server regarding the first choice from the menu. Then it'll do a switch case for the various functions. For case one, it'll simply read input from the server and display that to the user. Case two, it'll get input from the user, send it off to the server before it outputs to the user. Case three, it'll get much more input, send it to the server. The server will then modify the text file. And case four, it will simply close the connection. Over on the server side, we have, once again, information regarding setting up a connection, as well as semaphores to handle concurrency reader-writer problems. And we have function declarations. We enter our function for our thread, simply reading in the input regarding what the user chose. And then we will go into the various functions, depending on which case the user chose. Some preparation is necessary for the various functions, removing certain characters and putting semaphores around the writer function so as to not encounter issues with that. In the movie functions a file which handles the actual functions that each choice calls, we have display movies, which simply will open up the movies.txt file, a separate file from movie info that simply has the names of the movies and a number. And it will simply scan them in and concatenate them, send them off to the server or to the client to print to the user. Then we have display info, and this will open up movies info.txt and match the movie number that it receives with existing records in the file. From there, it will send this information back to the client, which will print it for the user. And the by seats function will simply take all the information that the user provides and compare it to the records in the text file. Once it is done that and found the matching file, if it exists, it will simply update the value in the text file. Main issues that occurred during the creation of this were simply figuring out the number of ways to get the choice from the user, send it from the client to the server, and then updating the text file, while including the semaphores and making sure that the program ran concurrently. Other than that, to my knowledge, everything works in function. However, there are a few formatting errors that I have noticed and are yet to be ironed out, but that would simply require a bit more time that I do not have to put into this project. And that is my final project. There's a make file that has information regarding making the file. It includes the csapp.c, csapp.h, and all of these files in its creation. But that is my final project in its entirety, and thank you for your time.